Every political ideology explained. Liberalism. Imagine a society where no king or queen can tell you how to live your life, where your voice matters and your rights are protected no matter what. Liberalism grew out of the Enlightenment, promoting individual freedom, democracy, and markets where people can trade and innovate without government interference. It's the backbone of most modern democracies, shaping laws, elections, and even the way we think about justice and opportunity. Conservatism. Conservatism emerges when societies fear that rapid change will bring chaos. It holds that traditions, family structures, religious beliefs, and established social norms are essential for stability. Conservatives argue that experimenting too much with society can lead to instability and conflict, so preserving what has historically worked provides security and continuity. Socialism, a world where the wealth generated by society doesn't end up in the hands of a few, while millions struggle to survive. Socialism seeks to redistribute resources, placing control of industries, services, and production in the hands of the community rather than private elites. From social welfare programs in Scandinavia to revolutionary movements elsewhere, the core aim is the same: reduce inequality, ensure basic needs are met, and create a fairer society. Communism. It takes socialist ideas to their extreme: a society with no money, no classes, and no state, where resources are shared according to needs. On paper, it promises equality and freedom from exploitation, but history has shown that centralized governments often seize power, creating control and oppression instead of the utopian vision originally imagined. Fascism. Fascism is built on total devotion to a single leader and an idea of national supremacy. Individual freedoms are suppressed, dissent is punished, and violence becomes a tool to maintain unity. History's most infamous examples, Mussolini's Italy and Hitler's Germany, demonstrate the dangers of extreme nationalism and authoritarian rule, where propaganda, military power, and fear dictate society. Anarchism. Anarchism imagines a world without rulers, governments, or hierarchical authority. Instead of laws enforced by the state, people organize themselves voluntarily, cooperating through mutual aid and shared responsibility. There are many branches: anarcho-communism, anarcho-syndicalism, anarcho-capitalism, but all share the belief that freedom comes from dismantling imposed authority rather than following it. Nationalism. Nationalism places loyalty to one's country above all else. At its best, it unites people under a shared identity, culture, and history. At its worst, it fosters exclusion, hatred, and even war. Nationalism can adapt to different political frameworks: liberal, conservative, socialist, or fascist, but its core remains the same. The nation is the ultimate priority, and everything else comes second. Libertarianism. It champions personal freedom in nearly every aspect of life. Individuals should be free to make choices about their bodies, finances, and beliefs, as long as they don't harm others. The government exists only to protect these freedoms, keeping taxes low, regulations minimal, and interference limited. It's a philosophy that values autonomy above all else, trusting people to govern themselves. Environmentalism, green politics. Environmentalism prioritizes the planet over political squabbles. Climate change, pollution, and ecological collapse are urgent threats that demand action, even if it challenges existing economic or social systems. Some green movements work within governments to enact reform, while others push for radical systemic change, arguing that human society must adapt or risk destroying the very environment it depends on. Feminism. Feminists fights for equality between men and women across politics, economics, and society. From securing the right to vote to advocating for workplace equality and tackling systemic discrimination, feminism challenges long-standing power structures. Modern feminism also addresses intersectionality, recognizing that race, class, and sexuality intersect with gender to shape people's experiences and opportunities. Progressivism. Progressivism believes that society can always improve. It champions reform, education, science, and justice as tools to solve social problems. Historically, progressives have fought child labor, civil rights abuses, and corruption. Today, progressivism continues to push for equality, diversity, environmental action, and democratic reforms, arguing that thoughtful change leads to a better future for all. Traditionalism. Traditionalists values continuity over innovation, believing that cultural, moral, and religious practices developed over generations protect society from chaos. While progress may be tempting, traditionalists argue that abandoning established norms can undermine stability and erode the foundations of community and identity. It is the counterbalance to progressivism, emphasizing what has endured over what is new or experimental. I've shown you the ideologies, now don't just watch. Your turn. If you had to live under one of these ideologies, which one would it be?